Just how good did it feel to finally get out there?
Oh my God. It felt incredible. I felt like I was floating. Literally, literally, it's like I wasn't there. Like, I don't know. It was just a surreal feeling. And to hear, the crowd and um it was just surreal and I felt grateful and I'm excited for more of those moments, definitely.
What was that moment? You don't need the mic. What was that moment like, just walking out on the court for the first time? The fans at Climate Pledge Arena, it was a heck of a first. I mean, obviously there were other things going on as well with Caitlin Clark, but just performing in with a packed house, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there was a lot of like little narratives going around, the debut game, the first time, for me, it was just special because, I just wanted to get out there and play with my teammates and experience that and not sit, behind the bench the whole time. So I feel like it was very special in that sense, but also, the biggest crowd in Storm history, like that's ridiculous. And I didn't know that until after the game. So to find that out and, to have been able to been a part of it, especially, in my debut game was pretty cool. And, playing against Caitlin and that was my last game in college that I played. And now meeting her again, playing against Indiana, I feel like it was a pretty cool story, pretty special. But again, I was just glad that I could sit on the bench with my team and be a part of, you know, the huddles and timeouts and little things like that. I feel like meant a lot more to me.
Nika, we saw you getting some extra work in on the court after the game. What do you think? What are you working on mostly in your game, trying to carve out a role in this team?
Yeah, I mean, I was working on my conditioning because I played 3 minutes, so I had to get some conditioning in. But just making sure that not being able to be, in games playing, I don't want it to reflect on the way I'm gonna play now, missing a lot of time. Um, can do something like that, especially when you're a rookie. So I was trying to, learn as much as I can from the sidelines. So now, putting it in a different mindset and trying to incorporate that in the game. I feel like it's gonna take me a little bit of time, but I feel like, the coaches and my teammates are patient with me and they allow me to, make mistakes, be confused sometimes and things like that. But I'm just trying to be hard on myself, not allow myself to do that and get in my groove as quick as possible and just, live in my role that the coaches and my teammates expect me to fulfill every day.
We'll take some questions from the Zoom. We'll start with Maggie, and then we'll go to Jeff. Maggie, go ahead.
Hey Nika, good to see you. Can you just take us through just those weeks of waiting, not knowing when your approval is going to come, but also watching on the sideline? What was it like kind of watching those first 4 games, knowing like did you learn anything and what was just that like for you mentally?
Yeah, I feel like, it was a roller coaster of emotions. I don't like to put myself in like a victim mode. Like, I saw a lot of people say free Nika, stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's funny, but I don't think it was ever that serious. I knew I was gonna eventually, play and I didn't wanna feel sorry for myself or, just pout the whole time, which I could have done, but I chose to, be energy, be loud, not on the bench, behind the bench, but just do the things that I would normally do if I was um on the bench and in practice a part of the team, which I truly felt like, and my teammates and coaches made sure that I'm still involved and like going through everything. So I mean it was just a wait for me. I hate not being out there. I hate feeling like I can't do anything. I don't like that feeling, never did. So that was the biggest thing for me. I was just very eager to go out there and like do at least something and help my team in some kind of way. But aside from that, like, the Storm and everybody involved did a great job of, doing everything they can. It's not in our control, it's not in their control. So I'm very thankful and grateful for them to them for, making sure that I get out there as quick as possible.
If I could do a quick follow-up, can you tell us the story behind your shirt and how that came to be?
Oh my God. I did not think that was gonna blow up the way it did. But yeah, I mean, I like fashion. I've always been into it. My mom got me into it. And the pregame fits are new to me. The whole tunnel thing, like I always loved the idea of it. But at UConn, we don't do that stuff. So it would always be a travel suit, which I hated. But now that I have this opportunity, I just like, being myself in that kind of way. And that actually was my dad actually is a graphic designer, and he made it and kind of had this idea. Like I had this idea of like I want to do something cool for my first game, for my debut. And he actually made it and sent it to me while I was in Vancouver. And I was like, yo, I gotta put this on a shirt. I gotta put this on the shirt. And to print the shirt was faster than to get my visa. It was in one day. And my mom helped me style the whole thing and everything. So, it was just something to get my mind off of and focus on something else a little bit. And I mean, blew up, didn't expect it, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Thanks, Maggie. Jeff, and then we'll go to Willie. Jeff, go ahead.
Hi, Nika. Yeah. After you got drafted by the Storm, UConn posted a video of you kind of saying goodbye to Coach Ariema. And obviously, now that you've officially made the team, have you had a chance to speak with him and maybe just talk about like what's made that relationship so special?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he texts me every day. We talk every day. Basketball related, non-basketball related, but he makes sure that he checks up on me as well as every other coach on my team. Like truly, I expected, to keep that relationship. Never doubted it because, for 4 years I was so close to all of them. And they make sure that they check up on me, and we talk a lot, and it's just super special. And never doubted it. And why I say it is because, for my 4 years at UConn, every alum that came back, we always knew that they kind of kept that relationship with the coaches. And I knew it was going to be like that for me too. And I love that. I love the fact that even though I'm miles away, different time zones, different city, they still make sure and make time, even with their own schedules, families, things that they have to do, which is a lot of things they have to do. They still make time to check up on me, and I appreciate that, and I have a lot of respect for them for that. And yeah, I mean, I'll always make sure that I check up on them too. So it's mutual, always been.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Willie, and then Christian will wrap up. Willie, go ahead.
Hey, Nika, Willie Ramirez in Las Vegas with AP and WGRamirez.com. If I can piggyback a little bit off of the last two questions, actually, we saw you from the Final Four to draft to that video with Coach, the excitement, the whole rookie class had excitement, and then it just plummets with the visa issue. Do you have a process, or did you in college when, mental health issues, or just when it came to your highs and lows? You said you did the things that you normally do. What are those things? Maybe not during games or practice, but personally in the gym and not. Part B to that, how much influence did Noe have on sort of keeping you calm and focused?
That's a great question. I feel like for me, being raised in Croatia, mental health is not something that people talk about. It's something that's portrayed that, you are to be ashamed of and not talk about. And it's getting better, but that it's just that classic traditional, way of looking and perspective to the world. So I never had any mental health issues before I came to, America, because it was never talked about. And I kind of felt like with it not being talked about, it never came to my mind. But I also never had issues and stressors and stuff that I experienced when I got to college. And I did experience mental health issues. I feel like everybody does in college. I feel like it's a very common thing. And I kind of feel sad for not talking about it earlier, maybe. Oh, I'm sorry. But, I feel like having the right support system and people that can recognize it, because as I said, I'm not the one that's gonna victimize myself ever. and maybe talk about it first, but I had people that would recognize it for me, and I'm very grateful for that because, you know, I learned as a person too that things like that are not to put aside or hold in, but to, you know, express it, because you never know who might be listening or who you can help with, you know, being confident of expressing stuff like that. So yeah, like you said, like the past month and a half has been a lot for me, truly. And even though it's been very positive, it's still very stressful, and it's from one thing to another. And sometimes you don't have time to just sit back, relax, and focus on other things, which can, you know, catch up to you. And I would be lying if I said that it didn't. It definitely did. But like I've said, I have great support. I have great people around me, even if they're miles away or even if they're, you know, in this building. So I feel very supported, and I trust, you know, myself and other people when it comes to that stuff. You know, I'm not very ready to talk about stuff like that openly yet, but I definitely will, because I feel like it's very important, and I feel like a lot of players are going through the same things, especially with this rookie class. I feel like it's very overwhelming, the whole thing. Although it's positive, it's still overwhelming. So yeah, great question. I'll definitely
Well,
talk about that more, definitely. It's on
May
my
is
list.
Mental Health Awareness Month, so I appreciate your honesty. Look forward to seeing you in Vegas.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thanks, Willie. And Christian, wrap us up.
Hey, Nika. My name's Christian. I'm Circling Seattle Sports. It's a pleasure to meet you. You know, throughout the process, getting drafted, realizing that a dream that you didn't, like you said before, you didn't realize was, you know, could happen to you. Getting drafted, going to Seattle, Sue Bird's team, following those footsteps, and then realizing that you can't actually contribute to the team that you want to play for. How did it feel going through that process? And then there was a lot of pressers after games where, you know, coach, different players spoke so highly of you, your IQ, what you bring to the team. Are there certain instances during the games where you saw, oh, wait, I can help the team here, I can help the team there?
Like when I wasn't playing?
Yes.
I don't want to put it in a way where I was like, I'm sorry. I don't want to put it in a way where I was like, ooh, I would come in the game right now and I would solve this for us. Or, you know, I wasn't necessarily thinking in that way. I feel like this team is a new team. And even with all the vets, we're all still new to the system. And we're all going through the same thing. So has there been instances where I felt like I wanted to go out there and help? Absolutely. But I'm still a rookie, and I'm still putting myself in a position of learning. I don't want to necessarily, you know, I wouldn't even say fake confidence, but I don't want to put myself in a position, hey, I can do something better than somebody else. Like, that's not the case. I never thought about it that way. But I definitely wanted to, you know, step in, bring energy at times, or like, you know, but I also wasn't gassed and I wasn't playing, and I was, you know, ready to, you know, run as much as I can because I wasn't tired. And so I was just trying to, you know, it was more of that eagerness of wanting to go out there and help my team in any way or shape or form, even if I'm a rookie and I didn't know necessarily how to help in that moment, if that makes sense. So for me, the main role was like to keep it up, keep the energy, be loud, clap, you know, support my teammates, encourage them, which I'm still going to do now that I'm playing. But yeah, I'm just trying to put myself in a position of learning and not necessarily thinking like that, if that makes sense.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Maggie has one more question, it looks like, and then we'll wrap up.
Sorry, last question, but how are you feeling facing Aaliyah tomorrow in your first pro matchup?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How are you feeling facing Aaliyah tomorrow in your guys' first pro matchup?
Oh my God, I'm very excited. Aaliyah's been doing so great. I'm very proud of her. The way she's, you know, melted into that team, and she looks so comfortable, and she deserves the world. And, you know, she knows how highly I think of her and her work ethic, and I have a lot of respect for her because she's one of those rare players that, not rare players, a lot of players don't get the respect that they deserve, but like she's one of those that never got the respect that she deserved, even in college. And I feel like right now too, like people are not talking about her enough. But aside that, I'm just, you know, focused on my team, how we're gonna perform, how we're gonna enter the game, It's a big game for us. You know, we're coming off a close win and we want to do it again. And I'm just excited to see Aaliyah and, you know, to hug her and play against her. But, you know, the focus is on my team.